Alright, here's the picture we use for the tutorial, which all of you will do, and then you'll select one of the other pictures that you'll do without a tutorial just to show your understanding of the information. And the first thing that I noticed with this picture is that it's not straight, and so we do want to straighten it out. One way that we can do it is if we're on the crop tool, simply hit C on the keyboard here to get to crop tool. We can take and turn this to get it to what appears to be straight and what we hope to be straight on this. Hit enter. That looks pretty darn close. I can undo that. Another way, and a lot better way, would be is if we know that something's supposed to be straight up and down or left to right, we have our straighten tool. In theory, the side of a building should be straight, so if I go to my straighten tool, I can click and drag, double click, and now that there is straight. With perspective that's happened on here, it looks a little bit off, but we do know that the side of this building is straight. We could also come over here and try this side. Whoops, wrong button there. Go to the straighten tool. If we go along the side of this building, we can straighten that one out, but that looks pretty far off to the side on that. So let's just stay with this one here being straightened. We can see that it left some of the extra stuff on here, so we do need to come in, crop on that. Notice that up here on the top left I am on unconstrained. If I pick one of these other ones, it does limit what I can and can't crop. It just puts it to that perspective or to that ratio. So I do want this to be on unconstrained. I'm going to come in to include as much of the picture as I possibly can. Bring up from the bottom here. There we go. Now I can either double click, I can hit enter, or I can hit the check mark here to confirm this. Next thing on here is the color. The color is definitely off. So doing this the non-destructive way, first way I'm going to show you is we go here with levels, and if there's something that we know should be white, we can click on our white eyedropper tool. Can come down to, say for instance, this white car, but that's not right there, so maybe back here where the highlight is at on the white, and that does help quite a bit. We can hide that, bring it back. Along the same lines, if we click on the black eyedropper tool, if there's something that we know should be pure black, for example, maybe this guy's jacket down here, click on that, and that gives us pretty darn good color correction on there. I'm going to leave that hidden and show you another way as well. If we go to our color balance, on here we're looking at this, it looks pretty red, possibly some magenta in it, but definitely red. So if we slide that on over, that's giving us some good correction. And then we can play around with these a little bit, getting it around there. The sidewalk down here still looks a little bit red. So fixing that up. And so we can kind of compare the two on which one we like better. Personally, I'm liking this one a little bit better. To me, that's looking a little more pure. We can always also come to our hue saturation, switch to our reds, and just maybe pull a little bit of reds out so we're not getting it quite down there in the car. We don't want to go overboard on that though. If we go too much, it just doesn't look right at all. There's got to be some red in there, something like that. Last thing that I would do actually is I'm going to add another levels, just because overall it looks a little bit flat or doesn't quite have the punch that maybe it should. Let's bring that up. Let's bring the highlights up a little bit. Not that much. Somewhere around in there. And so now if we go back to our history, we've gone from that to that. Looking a lot better. Something that would work a lot better for your client or for the project that you're working on if this was a photo that was supplied to you. See here again, this quick review, what we went through, we cropped it, and then going through and using some adjustment layers, we have gotten it down to this. You can see this last one, we've hidden that, so that it's as if that one actually isn't there. Also with adjustment layers, if you remember, everything, what's on top, the top adjustment layer affects everything under it. So that is important to remember as well. And that there is doing some cropping and color correction on the image.